All right, let's switch it up to what we do best, man. We already know we're over 60 something percent in NCAA football. I didn't have time because we got to do everything at once to get our official tally up from last week. Let me just take a quick glance at it real quick. But I thought we had a decent day last week. Um, the over for Ohio State, I think I hit. I think I lost on Kansas. Syracuse at 14.5 was good. Diddy, you had Ohio State first half, Penn State, Tulane, that under in that JMU game. Charlotte, Boise, Cincy, Penn State. I think we were all on Penn State.
Yep.
From teasers, Boise's. I think that first. I mean, if you guys haven't followed the shorts on Money Pop Podcast, you need to go follow the shorts or just follow the channel on Money Pop Podcast. I think Sharp, you haven't missed a teaser yet. I think you're 4-0 on those teasers that we post every Saturday morning. So keep them coming, and we'll keep it coming too with the money. But I got to go back. We had a lot of plays last week that I don't know off the top of my head. Which ones hits and which ones didn't for you guys. I know which ones hit for me because obviously I would lose money. But let's start it off, man. Sharp. I think you've been the hot one so far with the college plays, man. Let's keep it going. What you got for me, brother?
Well, you'll see there'll be a theme in a lot of my bets here. I'm going to be targeting team totals, and I'm going to be targeting unders. I think this game right off the bat, give me under 50.5 Illinois versus Nebraska. I just think this is going to be a good old-fashioned rock fight. I just think the weather's not going to be terrible, especially not for Nebraska. It's actually going to be a nice day, really nice fall day. I just like the way this matchup sets up. If you look at any time Nebraska has played somewhat of a good defense, they just flat can't score. So Illinois is not a great offense. They just like to grind out the clock. I don't think Nebraska is necessarily going to keep it close. I don't know that I would touch anything on the spread. I don't even know if I love the dog in a teaser. But one thing I do love is I love this under straight up. And when we do my teaser later, this will be one of the legs in my total.
Yeah, I think we talked about this one in the new kind of look ahead line show. I think this line or total has moved since we talked about the show. But I was right with you on this total. I was more looking at this as a teasing this one up. I myself have a lot of teasers up on this week as well. But I was thinking, like you said, old fashioned, I like it.
And I'm pulling it up right now, and I also I'm pulling up the team props. The team Nebraska's is 20.5, and Illinois is 29.5. I'm not sure either team hits their prop either. If I was leaning on a prop, I would definitely go Nebraska's under 20.5. That just seems like a pretty good play. But again, I love the total. Probably is my top play in this game. But there's a lot of ways I think to look at this game. I think it's going to be low scoring.
Yeah, like I said, I agree. I agree with the play. BD, let's go. What's up?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I think I'm going to just follow that same game because it was on my list, and we might just stay on it. I got Nebraska team total under 20 as one of my plays. Illinois' defense is elite. They rank top 10 in the top 3 categories. I want to say they're third in total yards, 7th in passing yards, 7th in the rush. And they've only given up an average of 8.9 points per game. So for Nebraska to be able to move the ball and score, I think it's going to be tough sledding for them. So them getting over 20.5, no. So that'll be one of my max plays here for a unit, probably a unit and a half here for Nebraska team total under 20.5.
I'm in total agreement with you.
You guys have just convinced me. Triple agreement only happens a few times on this slate. We all like each other's plays, but triple agreement where we have it written down on the slate of everybody. I like that. We starting off with with heat of a triple agreement play. I like it as well. Nebraska team total under. I'm following. I'm following you guys' lead on this play. Uh, Again, everything you guys said makes sense to me on why why this team total is such a good play. Love it at 21.5, but I'll take the 20 as well. All right, I'll keep the train moving. I talked about this play earlier on before, but I'm on UCF in this game. I like UCF straight up -1.5. Folks, don't get too caught up in the rank at sometimes. Sometimes the ranking does make sense, but people get caught up in the rank and kind of look at the ranking and say, oh, that they're going to beat that team, and it just doesn't match up. Has had trouble with I believe rushing quarterbacks throughout their season so far, and that's what UCF has. And I think the line sitting here at -1.5 after Cincinnati's been on the road for the last 2 out of the last 3 weeks. A little bit of fatigue here. I like UCF to get it done and actually beat the Bearcats and win this game outright. Give me UCF -1.5.
Yeah, that was a game I skipped just because I just, Cincinnati got healthy last week. They look pretty good. And UCF seems like they're going the opposite direction, so kind of stayed off it a little bit. But I'm with you, brother.
I wouldn't mind in the teaser. I think I talked about it on the teaser, but I think the more I was looking at it, the more I kind of liked it straight. It's a UCF line. It's definitely,
Yeah.
it's definitely not a Cincy line.
No, what's funny is if you look at that game and you look at the Oklahoma State, Kansas State, those games are identical mirror image of each other. The spread's the same, the total's the same. Oklahoma State's had like 5 conference games in the last 5 weeks. I think 3 or 4 on the road. You just talked about Cincinnati. I think it's had 3 of the last 4 games on the road. Sharp money is on the home teams in both those scenarios. I don't have a feel enough either way. I was thinking about actually putting one of these teams in a teaser, but I found a couple other games I like later. But I'm with you. Sharp money does say take UCF and Kansas State, but personally, I'm just staying away.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get that first half. Let me look at that first half real quick. Thought it's coming. Sharp, you up next, brother. Go ahead.
So we will stick in the Big Ten. I'm just trying to pull it up right now to make sure I'm getting the most accurate line for everyone. Sometimes I lock my plays in earlier in the week. Team props. Okay. Give me under 22.5 points for Penn State. Team total. Under 22.5. I'm also going to be you can already put it down now if you want to. One of my other plays is going to be the under in this game overall. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring. I think both these defenses are pretty good. I think you could even think about taking Ohio State's team total, but the thing that worries me about that team total, which is why I wouldn't take it and which is why I like Penn State's team total more, I think Ohio State's defense is going to score a touchdown in this game. I talked about it last week versus Iowa. Their defense just chews up bad quarterback play, and we already know how Penn State's QB is. He'll look awesome for 2 quarters, and then he'll fall back to earth for a quarter, and it'll be a brutal pick 6 at the worst time. I think Penn State's going to hang around. Penn State first half might be a line to look at, but my best line, I think, in this game is give me Penn State under team total 22.5.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where 22.5 -113. Yeah, we talked about it. Like I said, some of this stuff is starting a little bit repetitive. So you guys are been following us already. You already know some of the stuff we've already said, but we're just trying to go through all the winners. But this line was at 15.5 when we looked at it a couple of days ago, and now it's dropped to 14.5. And we've already said, for whatever reason, in Happy Valley, Ohio State, Penn State plays them tough. So this does sound and smell like somewhat of a defensive battle, early. And I wouldn't even. I'm trying to what that first half total was like 28.5. I bet. 30.5.
First half total. The total 60.5. First half is
30.5. I like the 30.5
yeah
plus money.
30.5, and the unders plus money, just like you said.
Yeah, I like the 30 and under the 30.5.
Hey, Diddy, we talked about Moss and I talked about this on the early show. Let me get your opinion on this. So, if you're James Franklin and you're at home and you win the coin toss, are you receiving or are you deferring?
I think we got to get the ball. We got to see what we can do. Let's try to score, get the momentum.
That's exactly what I said.
You're playing against a very, very high level offensive team in Ohio State. So if you can at least put 3 to 7 on the board early, that'll at least set the tempo a little bit, give some motivation over to the defense and get one stop. But,
and he was on the same thought process you were. I was on the same process you were. That kind of lens, if you were like in some of those first half lines, maybe lean that Penn State way, because I think first half line 7.5.
Yeah, and it takes a little bit for Ohio State. You know, they'll have some bad drives, but you know if they start clicking, it's going to be lights out. I am afraid of Penn State in this game with that. Michigan kind of showed me that with Penn State. It hasn't been enough time for them to adjust. And they kind of ran away last week against Minnesota late. So I just don't think this team is good enough. And Michigan kind of exposed them. So
Do you guys think about, do they make a quarterback change anytime in this game?
No, I mean I think Clifford's going well. I mean I don't think it's Clifford's issue.
Is the guy behind him though, right?
Say again.
The better quarterback is it a freshman behind him?
I don't think he's a better quarterback.
True freshman. He's more talented, but you'd have to ride the wave of the ups and downs.
Yeah, I wouldn't make no quarterback change. Clifford hasn't had a bad season. He's playing well.
No, I'll tell you in this game, just in this game.
No, unless he's hurt.
If Drew Aller's first true start is against a Jim Knowles defense, good luck. I'll just tell you that right now. Homer away, good luck. He runs one of the most exotic pressure packages in college football. It's like Wink Martindale. Like you got no idea who's coming. And true freshman quarterback would not be able to handle that.
All right, cool. All right, B Diddy, you got the mic still, man.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep it simple, man. I want to jump on this train back again. I think they kind of rectified their ship. They had a couple tough losses, but the leader and the captain of the team has been out. So KJ Jefferson is back for Arkansas. I like this short line at 3.5. I'll buy a half a point just to get it to 3, just in case some funky stuff happens there in Auburn. But I don't believe Auburn. I'm not a fan of Auburn. I think offensively they can't do enough. I think KJ Jefferson is going to be able to kind of get Arkansas back. And I actually like Arkansas's possible team total over. I got to see what that number will be to marry with that. But I like Arkansas this week. Yeah, buy a half a point 3 just to get the push if it lands on 3. I don't think it does. Then they win by 10 or more.
Yeah, I was looking at this over, teasing this total down. I have this in a teaser, and then looking at the over. I think there's going to be some scoring in this game, but I like the side though, for sure.
Auburn's coming off a bye, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yes.
You said you needed the team total on this one?
I think it's 31.5.
Yeah, 31.5.
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
So my only fear in that game, we can roll. My only fear in that game is Auburn's offensive style is a lot like Alabama's offensive style when that backup was in Milroe. It was just that read option, speed option, him and Gibbs, and they just housed Arkansas's run defense. Well, that's exactly how Auburn's offense runs with their quarterback and Bixby. They run that dang speed option, sprint right option, triple option. So if there was, any kind of pause, I'm with you. I think a shootout's the play, because I do think Arkansas's run defense is going to get exposed here. But, I mean, with KJ Jefferson back, he should be able to make enough plays to cover that for you. So I'm kind of with you on the over.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, offensively, Auburn hasn't done enough for me. I think they had their season high in points last week against Ole Miss, but we know Ole Miss moves the ball. They So we expect them to get some points against Ole Miss. But besides that, 10 against Georgia, 17 against LSU, 14 against Missouri, 12 against Penn State. Nah, you can save me with that. I don't even think Auburn gets 28. No, I think that's their line, 28.5.
Okay.
They haven't beat Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas haven't beat Auburn in about six years. They'll be ready to play.
I don't have any. Damn. I don't have any concerns. I like to take. It makes sense to me. Game flow theory, and your side. So, like I said, I'm leaning towards more the over because I have them in the total.
Yeah.
But I don't mind the straight play either.
Excuse me.
All right. For my last straight play, well, we had a bonus straight play, and Sharp, I'll let you talk about that Rutgers Minnesota game that you found a gem on. It sounds like, or it looks like, and it looks like only specifically on FanDuel they haven't caught up yet. I'm assuming sooner or later they will. But my last play of the day is going to be Pittsburgh +3, and this is just fading North Carolina's defense. North Carolina has the worst defense, like in the ACC. I feel in the damn country. They give up a lot of points here, and I like Pittsburgh to keep this close. I think the line is telling me Pittsburgh's going to keep this close at +3. Wish we could get it at +3.5. I wouldn't even mind looking at Pittsburgh team's total here, but I already have an early play on Pittsburgh here to keep this game close. I like the +3 with Pittsburgh. It wouldn't surprise me if they went outright. The line is a little bit short of money line +122. It's just that this North Carolina offense obviously can put up points, but their defense can't stop anybody. So give me Pittsburgh +3.
Okay.
Yep.
Shout out to Phil Longo, man, my old football coach. He's the OC of North Carolina. Been there for a couple of years, doing big things.
Nice. I like to take them. That's good. I like that.
All right, you ready for me?
Yes, sir.
All right, another team total. This has revenge factor written all over it. Man, what Harbaugh wants to do in this game to Mel Tucker. If they want to shut out, we were talking about this on the early show. Obviously, they would choose the Buckeyes to shut out, but that's unrealistic. But if there's another team that they want to shut out, boy, it's this Michigan State offense. Give me Michigan State under 16.5. I just don't see how they're going to score.
I didn't look at that, Sharp. That's one I didn't look at. But I also think it's going to be tough for Michigan State to score also. I was really ready to press the spread here, but I don't know.
To me, their team total should be closer to in line with Northwestern's, which is 13. Daring you to, hey, can this team score 2 touchdowns? And I'd still almost take the under. We can get that later. I kind of like Northwestern's team total under. I don't know how they score. But, yeah, give me under on Michigan State, 16.5. There's just the revenge factor here. Michigan is not going to let up. They are just not going to let up after what happened last year with Kenneth Walker running all over them. This is a bad spot for Michigan State.
Yeah, no look ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like I said, I'm leaning on the actual spread itself. Maybe throw them in some teasers, but I like that. I like that for sure.
If you were putting on money on Michigan, I'd almost do some sprinkles on an alt line just for an absolute blowout. Get 20.5 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or get 27.5, just see what happens.
They're home, right?
Yeah,
it's in the big house. It's homecoming.
Yeah.
Let's see alternate spreads. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, 27.5 plus 135. That's an interesting little. And I almost wish it was bigger, but
plus 134 for 27.5. That's an interesting line. It might be this by halftime.
Right.
28-0.
Yeah, like I said, I love the shutout. To me, I think it's just that mission. Harbaugh, that's his thing. He's so different than every other coach. Most coaches are yeah, I want to hang 70 on you. he's like, I want to score 30 and you score 0, and we ran every time. Like that to him is like football.
Interesting. I like the alt line angle. I really do. I think the 27 and a half is it looks really enticing.
I agree.
Anything in here, I mean, you can get a little funky and go, for like you said, a complete blowout in 30. But I like, I definitely like anything in here for touchdowns. Makes sense to me. Makes sense. Good call. Um, uh, B Diddy, you got any more? Got any more straight plays? Or we
Yeah. We're gonna go. Sorry, let me turn this down. Sorry about that. We're gonna go Wake Forest -3.5. Same situation with Arkansas. Buy half a point if you want to get to a possible push. But I'm just gonna go with the better team here. Louisville has gotten better. I just think that Wake Forest is the complete better team. There's a better quarterback at helm for Wake Forest, who's breaking all types of records there. They'll be able to move the ball. Although Louisville's defense has been pretty stout, I think this is just a different type of offense that they're going to see and that they've seen all year. So I like Wake Forest here at -3.5. I'll take a better team at a short line. I know they're going into Louisville. Louisville should be up and ready to go, but Wake Forest is just a big, big, big step up in competition for them. So I like Wake here. 6-1, looking to be 7-1. Let's go Demon Deacons.
I like it. Did you look at their team total? I know Wake puts up points.
Yep. But Louisville's been pretty stout defensively, I think, over the last 3-4 weeks.
Okay.
I don't think anybody has scored over 20 points against that defense. I could be wrong, but let me just double check. But like I said,
Under there? You like Wake's under there? Or you're not even touching that?
do I like Wake's under or what's the total?
Team total under.
I didn't look at team total for Wake.
Yeah, I see that 33 and a half.
No, I think they can get there.
Okay.
So I'm in total agreement with you here. This is my only favorite of the week that I wouldn't tease down. I like. We talked about Michigan blowout. I still don't love that spread. Just for whatever reason. But I love it here. Kind of going back with what you're saying about Louisville. So Louisville's defense is great, except for one time this year they played against an NFL caliber quarterback, and it was Phil Dracovic of Boston College. Yeah. And they scored 31, and that was this month. Now, it was early October, but Wake Forest has got an NFL-style QB too, so I'm with you. I think Louisville's defense gets exposed here. I think Wake goes up and down the field. I don't think Louisville scores enough to keep it within 4 points.
Yeah, because, Wake's offense, they spread you out. And there's a lot of underneath passes. I think he has one of his best friends he went to high school with. He throws to now, transferred back to Wake Forest. So it's a lot of different things. I think Louisville's going to have to make adjustments to, although they've been playing solid this past few weeks. But they really haven't played nobody. If you think about who they played, I think they played a struggling Pittsburgh team who we thought coming in was going to be much better than what they are. And in Virginia, and we know they're not shit. And they had a shootout against Boston College. So for me, I think this is probably their biggest test since Florida State.
I agree, and just looking at everything. Army's a tough team to get ready for. They're not a talented team, but just all those teams are hard to get ready for, just because no one else you just don't see that kind of style offense very much. So, and they handled that. They smoked Boston College. I just think these are two teams trending in different directions. I think Wake Forest is playing its best football right now. And I think Louisville's kind of been up and down, but they are who they are. They're just a middle-of-the-pack team. And I think this is an upper echelon conference team playing a middle-of-the-pack conference team and short line. I don't think this is a crowd environment that's crazy. So I'm with you. Give me Wake Forest all day long.
I can't remember the last time Wake Forest was ranked in the top 10. So
yeah,
the excitement behind this team, I'm sure they feel like they got a lot of history that they can break here if they continue this. And I'm sure they don't want Louisville to snap that. So they'll come ready to play.
Yep. It's about that time for Louisville fans to be worried about college basketball anyway.
That's true.
All right. I don't have any more straight plays, Sharp. I'm not sure if you do. If you do, the floor is yours. All I have is I gave out a teaser earlier in our earlier show, and honestly, I just have one teaser that I really like that I have. So I don't have many teasers. So I'll let you guys go. Sharp, the floor is yours, brother.
Well, the one game I kind of talked about, some books have pulled it down. What do you guys tell me your current numbers real quick on that Minnesota game?
It's 13.5.
Minnesota Rutgers. Give me your team totals. Give me the team totals, please.
I just have 13.5 and 40.5 on FanDuel. Like you said, it's pulled off DraftKings.
Yeah. What's the total?
The total is 40.5 still.
Yeah. So I would take 40.5 all day long.
I talked about that.
This game was 36 when it got pulled off the board. I think it just got so low, and they kept taking big bets at DraftKings and Caesars and some of the other books that they just pulled it down. So 40.5, that to me is just crazy for a game that might need quadruple overtime to hit the over. So, I mean, just go look at everything. Minnesota wants to run. Rutgers can. Their best attribute on their team is their rush defense. Minnesota's sixth-year senior quarterback's out. They're going to the true freshman. They have no choice. Now, I know he had the full week of reps, and it's at home, so it's not like Happy Valley where he can't hear himself think or talk. But this is just two offenses that struggle. I mean, they struggle to get first downs, let alone get into the red zone. So, I mean, this just has like 13-10 written all over it, 20-10 at most, 23-10 at most if Minnesota pulls away.
So, who do you guys like today in game one? Phils or Astros?
My heart says Nola. My gut says Astros.
Did he? Astros?
I don't have a play.
I have a play. Now
I would take Phillies plus line, plus 1.5 maybe.
Run line.
Yeah, but I'm not touching the game on the side.
Some runs today.
I think one is a weak break. I would probably lean the under.
Yeah. No,
I think you nailed it earlier when you went with the total over on the strikeouts. I mean, I think that's kind of the play of the day. The bats have been off for a week, kind of like Diddy just said. No hitters. I mean, you're hitting in cages is different than seeing Nola and Verlander. So I think the strikeouts are there.
No, the only reason why I say that is because I was going to put a little parlay together across all the sports that we're doing.
Okay.
That's the reason why I kind of switched back.
Can you parlay a strikeout prop like that with another sport? DraftKings won't let you do that.
Do a double performance play in parlay.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you can do that strikeout. I'll keep playing with it while you guys keep talking. So we had the under in the Rutgers Minnesota game. Let's get these teasers. Now we got NFL behind us. We don't got that much time. So, Sharp, let me see. Tell me what your teasers are.
Let me make sure the number.
Unless you have more plays, I'm not sure.
No, that was it. But there's one other one I'm looking at. If it doesn't ever get to 17, I'll probably end up pulling the trigger tomorrow morning, and that's another team total. I just don't know how Florida scores. I think theirs is sitting at 16.5. I was hoping money was coming in on that over, so I was hoping for a public bet. Maybe it hits 17, and then I can take 17 under. So I will wait an extra 12 hours and see what happens. But if it's at 16.5 at kick, I'm going to take the under on Florida's team total. Again, I don't think Georgia's offense is great, but I know Georgia's defense is great. I don't trust Anthony Richardson, and he just likes to run around. Well, the problem is everyone on Georgia's linebacking core is just as fast, as athletic as him. So there goes his options to run.
Yeah, I like that. Florida has been struggling to score all year, so I really do like that.
Yeah,
that was Florida's under team total.
Yeah, I'm going to see that because right now the over's at minus 120, which tells me there's a little bit of money trickling in towards that over, actually, which is probably public money because I don't think any pro bettor would be taking that over. So maybe enough little public money comes in on that to where we wake up in the morning and it's 17. But if it's 16.5, I'm going to ride with it.
It does let me parlay it. If you look, the starting pitcher combined strikeout total Nola and Verlander for over 12 and a half. And I can put that Rutgers, Minnesota under 40 and a half in there as well. So
Oh, nice.
it does allow me to parlay it. So keep going. I'm gonna go back and see if it was some other good plays. I think we were all on that.
I mean, I love the Michigan State. We were in lock agreement on Nebraska under 20 and a half team total, and I think we all like Michigan State under 16 and a half.
Yeah, I'll see if I can put the team totals in there. I think you can. I think you can.
Yeah, making sure my numbers are accurate. So my teaser, the big teaser I like involving I've got one with totals and one with spread. I'll give out my spread first. Kind of just talked about it. The game's ticking down, but it's still at a good number. Give me Penn State teased up 24 and a half at home. I do like, obviously, Ohio State. That's my team. I think they're going to score. I think they're going to win. I think they even have a chance of backdooring the cover. But just 24 and a half in Happy Valley, that's just too many points. If Ohio State proves me wrong, so be it. But that'll be my first leg. My second leg, making sure the number's still there. Yeah. So second leg is Iowa Northwestern. We just talked about this. Northwestern's just Iowa's bad, but Northwestern's even worse. This is at home. Kirk Ferentz is kind of taking on a little bit of slack for his son calling plays, and he kind of said there might be some changes this week, so we'll see what those changes are. I don't think it'll be his son not calling plays, but maybe he'll be forced to actually do something. So give me Iowa teased down to -1, basically a pick 'em. I've talked about this. I don't think Northwestern can score. So love that down. And then, like I just talked about, give me Michigan down. I think a blowout's coming. I do think they probably cover that spread. But like all things we talked about, I think they're just literally going to try to not let Michigan State score, period. So give me Michigan teased down as well. I love those three legs.
And what's the second one?
Oh, the second one's totals. Well, I'm trying to build my last one now. Will you guys go and I'll find my third one because I had Minnesota in it, kind of 40 and a half, but on DraftKings it's not up. So I mean, we can go off that 40 and a half if you guys wanted to. Okay. So give me 40 and a half in that game teased up to 50 and a half if you can still get it on FanDuel. Give me 50 and a half in the Illinois-Nebraska game teased up to 60 and a half. Take the under. Give me 60 and a half teased up to 70 and a half in Penn State, Ohio State. Give me under. As you can see, I think a lot of these Big Ten games are going to be lower scoring than expected.
Who's Minnesota playing again? I keep forgetting.
Minnesota's playing Rutgers.
Rutgers, that's right. Okay, cool. Diddy, I know the king of them. Been running 10-point teasers for a long time, brother. What you got?
Yeah, let me give you a few leans. So we're going to go Ole Miss playing at Texas A&M. I got to lean on them at -1.5. I'm just going to continue to ride with Ole Miss. I think just offensively they're going to be a little too much for Texas A&M, and Texas A&M don't put up enough pressure on the defenses to outshine here. So I like Ole Miss here just as a lean, -1.5. Most likely I'll make it a play. It's a short line. I mean, you can take a money line also. Same thing with Baylor. Short line here. Baylor is one of them super leans. I may not touch this or fall on it, but if I am, it would be the money line to get the plus money for the value. I think value is there. That's why I'm making a play, getting that plus money there because I think Baylor can keep up with Texas Tech. And then my last lean would be Tennessee first half -7. I know this is a big game, primetime game versus University of Kentucky. I feel like a lot of people are pressing on Kentucky here. I think Tennessee's is much better than what we all expected them to be. They've done what they had to do. So I like Tennessee here first half, get out there early. I know Kentucky's defense has been pretty solid for over the years, but Tennessee's offense is just too much. We've seen them and what they've done to other defenses like Alabama. And I think they'll do the same thing here at University of Kentucky. Give me the first half -7. And then most likely they'll cover that spread to a -12, 13, wherever it's at now. Getting to my teasers. Yes, sir. So what we like. 3-team, 10-point teasers. just like over the past weeks, I'm going to give you some spreads, and I'll give you a totals teaser. We're going to go TCU. Get TCU to a +3. They're playing West Virginia. I feel like West Virginia has been putting a little pressure on some teams, but TCU is a good team, man. They're solid in that Big 12. I like them and get them on the plus side. Definitely. Ohio State, I got them at -4.5. They're just too much for Penn State. I think, like I said, the book was written when they played Michigan. Now Michigan was able to separate in that second half. I think Ohio State does the same thing once they catch a rhythm. I know it's me in Happy Valley, but they've been there before. So like Ohio State -4.5, and then we're going to go Tennessee -2.5 versus University of Kentucky. We just spoke about that. So those three teams would be TCU on a plus money side, a +3, Ohio State -4.5, and then Tennessee -2.5. Totals play, we're gonna go Penn State, Ohio State. I'm gonna go a little against you. We're gonna go over 50.5. I think the number gets over 50 for sure in this game. So I'm gonna go over the 10-point teaser, get them over 50.5 for that Penn State Ohio State game. We're gonna go Oklahoma State, Kansas State over 46. Two teams that can put up points. Now there is like one or two games with Kansas State game where they just kind of go flat and it'd be like a small total. I'm hoping this is not what it is. I just think that these two teams can put up points. Hopefully this won't be the stinker. Over 46 is not a lot of points. So I think they both get in the 20s. And then my last one will be Baylor and Texas Tech over 51. Both teams can put up points, obviously. We know Texas Tech. We know Baylor over 51. So if they're all short totals, I think all three of those games should go over. That's Penn State, Ohio State over 50.5, Oklahoma State, Kansas State over 46, and Baylor, Texas Tech over 51.
I like that Texas Tech Baylor. I'll finish it off here with a teaser because we don't have too much time to go in the NFL. Kind of piggybacking off some of the plays you've already guys said, but I have one teaser here. 3-team. Then remember, everybody, these are all 3-team 10-point teasers. We found an edge, and we're sticking with it. I don't even know what the percentage is, right? I already said Sharp hasn't lost one, so you already know, right? Well, he hasn't lost one that we've given out per se. So I have a teaser. I'm following the Michigan train. I like the Arkansas Auburn over. Tease that down to 50.5. And going with Sharp earlier, I think we were all on this Illinois-Nebraska game. Like he said, throwing rock type game. I'm teasing that up. I forget what that key number is. I didn't write it down, but I'm teasing that up and taking the under on that. Just a really simple three-team 10-point teaser that I have married with some of the other plays. That's a lot of plays for everybody. So I hope you guys got your pencil and your paper. Just rewind it, go back. We'll put some chapters out just to make sure you guys know the play. Before I move into NFL, anybody got anything else about college?
Nope. And for the record, Diddy, we're not against each other. Last week I gave Moss Clemson in one of my teasers down and Syracuse tease up. So I'm all about finding that big teaser window, baby. There's nothing wrong with doing it both ways. I actually have Ohio State teased down with Georgia, with Washington State from Thursday, but obviously it's past. I didn't want to give that out. But yeah, so there's nothing wrong with going two ways, man. That's why we love the teasers. Vegas knows their stuff. Move the spread. They're giving it to you.
Yeah, we were on Washington State too. We have both sides of that. We like the under and the and Washington State side.
Yep.
And that play on that what was that Wednesday? I think that Wednesday kind of look at headline show. Pretty decent show too. So if you guys don't know, here's the schedule. Wednesday, I want to say Wednesday sharp. We'll talk about the timing. Either Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to do a look ahead show looking at early lines. There is from a professional gambling side that Sharp follows, is that their professional gamblers, handicappers, syndicates usually like the opening lines and they like to get on the right side of the number before the lines shifts, whether it be injuries, whether it be weather, whether it be whatever it is, people getting divorced, a lot of shit happens, right? So you like to get on the right side of that line. So there's some EV market there that we can and look at some analysts and numbers where we can get on the right side of the line. And obviously, we started off that show right because both everything we've liked so far has been a good take. So that show is on. I think we're going to go Tuesday.
I like
Um,
it.
say that again.
I like it. Yeah, Tuesday works.
Yeah, Tuesday live. We'll figure a time out. Then we have our Friday college football show, and then typical Sunday morning NFL week show. So those are the three shows that we got right here on Money Pop Podcast and A2D Radio Network. Obviously, you're watching on A2D Radio Network as of right now. But if you haven't hit that notification on A2D, definitely hit that notification. And if you don't follow us on Money Pop Podcast, where we drop some shorts and live plays that we do each and every week, make sure you go follow and subscribe to Money Pop Podcast. All right.